So I wanted to go over some rules that I set up for the top 100 best games of the decade list that will be coming out next month. The first rule is I'm not counting controversies. So controversies do not affect the game at all. I might mention them, but unless it's something in the game itself that's like manipulative or horrible or whatever, if it doesn't affect the game, it's not counted. That includes Blizzard, like Hearthstone this year, or Telltale, which was horrible what happened there, or stuff like EA. Because in the end, it's about the games, it's not about the companies that make the games. And there are people that worked hard on the games, and if the games are really, really good, it shouldn't matter for an arbitrary 100 best games list. Number 3, communities are considered. So if it's a long-lasting franchise, or if it's even a single game that's been supported by a community for many, many years, I will consider that because that's an important part of the game. Number 4, all franchises are counted together. I know usually people do one game per franchise, but I would just want to put all of them together. Like if there's more than one game in the franchise that's been released in the last 10 years, they should probably be counted together, because maybe all of them, or at least some of them, if there's like 10 iterations in the last 10 years, deserve some praise if they're really good, not just the one game that's the best, quote unquote. I do not look at scores like Metacritic, because I personally don't really think they're very helpful, because they don't really mean anything. It's kind of funny with the list, it doesn't really mean anything anyway, but it's still fun, but scores aren't fun because they just, I don't know, I just hate them. However, coming to the reviews, the scores don't matter, but opinions do matter. Like if there's one really good mechanic that everybody loves, of course that will be taken into account. Or if there's a mechanic that everyone hates, that will also be taken into account. But not the end of the score. Like if there's one mechanic that makes the game 9 out of 10 instead of a 6 out of 10, it doesn't mean that much. The other way around as well. If there's like a mechanic that makes 6, 9, 9, 6, whatever, it's no, it's just not good enough, the scores themselves. But opinions in the reviews do matter. All eligible games are released between January 1st, 2010 and 30th of November 2019, because I will be publishing it in December, because usually videos get the most views then, and there aren't that many games coming out in December. There's like Darksiders Genesis, however, it's not really going to change anything for the franchise. There might be a few more things. For example, I tried to make the list like as interesting as possible, because it's impossible to decide like, oh, this game, it's the number 53 of the last 10 years, or this is the number 76 of the last 10 years. So I just wanted to make sure that the list is also kind of interesting. Like all of the games deserve to be on there, but I did start with a list with about 400 games, or over 400 games even. That didn't include the games that came out this year, because I made that at the beginning of the year. And some games are just not comparable, but I did try to make the list inclusive as possible, which includes like racing games, which I personally don't play, but they are good games for racing fans, but not for me personally. But they do deserve the list. Those were actually most hardest to like place somewhere. And when it comes to like my personal opinion, of course it matters the most because I have my bias, and I like certain games more than others. Even though I did put some really popular games in places where I really didn't want to place them because I didn't like them, but everyone else loves them. Anyway, thank you very much for listening, and have a wonderful day.